Hi, Pisces. So, the different signs in Pisces. So, normally when a water sign goes through another water sign, usually if you're going through a sign that's like a sister sign, meaning elementally, usually it's pretty cohesive. But I'm pretty sure last season left a mark on most people. With you, it's just been a lot of like Pisces. It's been a lot of water. It's been a lot of, there's something that came to me and I can't remember in this moment, but there's a lot of not a lot of control, meaning there's just, for you, excuse me, at this point, there are some of you out there who will hold on to anything that you can right now. And then some of you will start constructing a new a new sense of love, what it means, what fulfillment is, abundance, attraction, contracts, your contract with, this is very spiritual for you. This month is having you connect with and asking you very clearly, like, well, all of these things are happening. All of this is showing up. Why do you feel like you still need to hold on to something? So you're being asked to move forward from something that got brought up in Gemini season or possibly around the eclipses. And because there's something waiting on the other side of accepting this. There's something waiting. So it's very interesting because when you don't accept something about yourself or about your situation or about someone else in your life, it's usually brings about maybe this heavy feeling. And for you, things can get very heavy. And there's so much that we talked about power last month, I believe, or 2 months ago. This power struggle you have with yourself. Like, I know that the waters are far and wide and you have a lot to be a part of and put your waters into and put your feelers into. But it's very, whatever you're holding on to is very connected to what you hold on to about love and what you hold on to, what you expect, and maybe sometimes demand from God. And that's okay. Or the universe. And that's okay to do that. It's just knowing that right now you're not listening to something. There's something like the Lovers in Judgment. Spiritual being coming out of the sky, right next to dude who is in front of a city holding on to money. Right next to cup floating on hand coming out of the sky. So whatever it is that you need to hear, it could come from a Gemini, for sure. It's very, very strong. It could come from a very intertwined relationship with love or with work and love. For some of you, this is about really having to make a decision about work and love. This will ultimately cause you to, like, something to come out. So an emotional release, maybe even a breakdown, some kind of that experience. But what happens after that always is this: the sun shines brighter. And Leo season this Leo season especially wants that. I just feel it, wants it for all of us. So it's coming out, it's just like last season where it's coming out with exactly what you need to hear and then showing you how to get there very easily. Very much you're in the dark for a lot. You know, like that's why it's really important to listen to what is being told to you. It's very blunt. It's not like signs coming out of nowhere. It's a bluntness. There's a bluntness. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. So it's very clear that Leo season's pulling you through to the light because it's just something you're being stubborn about ultimately, and you finally get what you need from the situation, whether it's with an old lover or a Gemini or both. There's something that's going to release, and there also just might be, you might have been stuck and not able to like see that there's been something or someone trying to get your attention all along, and it's coming in with an overwhelming amount of like, hey, like it's okay to like receive all of this and have fun. And have some joy, because here's the thing, it's important. And it doesn't always come natural all the time. Sometimes you have to invite it. Sometimes you have to allow that to happen in your life and give it moments, especially when you go through if you're in and out of dips, you know, highs and lows. It's important to remember that sometimes you can have control. Where you can't have control, leave it there. And then accepting of it, let it come out. Invite it in. How do you do that? Maybe you're scrolling through Netflix or trying to find something to watch and you see something funny and you're like, oh, I don't know. Just do it. Maybe call a friend, or just like talk to someone you know will make you laugh. But this is also ultimately about you and what you want and how you want to be contracted with your soul. Even deeper, like this is very divine, and this allows for a really great high. It's just important to remember that what gets you up and out, you just need to remember and take time to recognize that. There's something very, it's about your inner child. There's something very much you've been disconnected to, which ultimately makes you hold on more. And Leo season's exposing a lot, but also wanting our true selves to come out. And this quickly leads you into reaping or seeing certain seeds come to light even quicker than you thought. And a lot of signs are in Virgo this month, which is opposite you. A lot. So, and this is you. So by the new moon in Virgo, by Virgo season, things will cool down. You'll feel like yourself in a way where what Virgo season does in entering that time of year, depending on where you live, there's just this, it's so invigorating. It's like getting a breath of fresh air after being stuck inside of a plane, or going from, let's take it from Leo season to Virgo season. It's like it goes from the sun beating down to this very delightful, like caring, like there's just something, we feel held. Or it's like when your feet are in the sand at the beach and it's receding, but you feel so grounded. This month is just burning away anything that needs to be uplifted so that when you get to Virgo season, you'll be very rooted. And because there's so many signs in Virgo, which is your opposite, you might feel very like Mars. So that's why listening. So it's like it's speaking to you. So listening to what's being said to you very straight, especially if it's very straightforward. It's not any mixed signals. It's exactly how they mean it. There's no like overthinking it. It's like, no, this is what I mean. And that's very important for you because it'll ultimately show you that even though you can say to the universe what you want and you can write it out and you could say it in these words, how you act and how you're choosing or how you begin to become aware of these things that you want, but how to get there. If you're not acting and choosing along the lines of alignment with what you want and you're saying what you want, it doesn't matter because it's not aligning, but you'll still get there. It just may not be when you want to. So this month is a lot of slowing down and taking it day by day, even when you want to wish it away. It's also about going outside and being exposed to the light more. It's very important because by the time Virgo season hits, you'll get very, very clear, direct in the way that you and Virgos can be sometimes, where Virgo does what you do, but in a very direct way. They're like, you just like have the tentacles out and you're like, you know, letting everyone feel. Virgo's like, this is how we heal. Like, let's get directly to the point. So you'll feel this intense energy of getting directly to the point, but also feeling that wave that you bring on, which also may reveal in a moment of, because there will be a lot of amazing moments this month, especially in terms of romance too. So that's why it's important to move through some of this stuff, because when that comes, this connection could be very, very real for you. And it could be a Virgo. It also could be a Leo. I see more Leo. But so this part is really important because it's the two oppositions coming together. No matter whether you go looking for it or not, it's going to meet you, it's going to find you. And you're not going to be able to hide from it because it's going to be so all over you. So the cards suggest that you see everything for what it is this month. No overthinking's possible, especially with the Virgo placement. Go ahead. But by the time Virgo season comes, it's going to be very clear anyway. So if you just allow yourself to go through and just take things day to day and do your best to do so, there's a lot more expansion and grounding will come. If you feel very ungrounded this month, do grounding practices. Go for a walk, be in nature. Standing poses in yoga are extremely grounding. Meditation practices, anything where you can get in your body and feel your feet and just like feel everything moving, feel your blood pumping. And if you do have that, maybe it's switching it up so that you feel your body in a different way. That's one of my favorite things to do. Even if I'm doing like the same, like if I'm doing yoga, I'll do a different kind, or I'll take it really, really slow, or be very, very gentle. So it's just mixing up how you do that, because you'll need to be able to interpret different things for yourself this month. It's a very much like listen and understand for yourself, yet don't hide all month. Like, go out, do what you need to do. By the end of the month, it'll all make more sense to you, and it will directly hit you, but you'll feel so, I think you'll be really glad and really happy, or like really satisfied with how things are handled this season, especially if you want love, because there's a lot of potential for it. And I'll show you when we look at the second part, when we go through the cards. I forgot to say this in the beginning. We're going to go we do this, and then I'll go through the cards with you where we look at it and I show you how I read and everything. And then the extended reading on Patreon goes more into the cards, all of these people who've shown up, and more into what is happening for you this Leo season. And then, yes, that's it. To work with me one-on-one is also below. So all of those links are below. And I will also be putting up more content very soon. Thank you so much for watching and being here. We'll get to the second part, Pisces. Hi, Pisces. Okay. So this reading is what you've been asking for, whether you realize it or not. A very important message is coming your way, whether it's from a Gemini or from someone that you maybe even has a hold on you. It could, for most of you, this is romantic. This is a lover. This is a love interest or a past love interest. And this might just be, and for some of you, it's actual physical, it's happening now. And for some of you, it's about you, Leo season, coming in with the tough love, but like very sweet. Honestly, I just feel like a sweetness here. The Leo coming in saying like, hey, like you deserve love regardless of what has happened or what you're holding on to. You deserve greatness in what you do, and allowing yourself that greatness and allowing yourself to know that whatever the message is, whatever is coming towards you, or whatever this message is, you are to take it for what it is. That's what Judgment is saying. Take it for what it is. And when you do that and allow yourself that, there's more that comes from it. It's this overflow. It's this very powerful feeling, yet there's a softness that comes along with it. And it's possible about being softer to yourself this season. You know, Leos are just as sweet to themselves as they are tough. You know? And that's what's going to help even more in terms of letting go of whatever you've been holding on to, whatever has been held on to. If you're currently with this person, then something needs to be said. Some air is going to be cleared this month. And it could be that things come together. Some of you, things come together and it's a very much a resounding theme of love. Like a resounding, like, I want to express how much I care about you. And it's like, maybe even they want to shout it to the world, or you want to shout it to the world. Maybe it's about a Gemini. And it becomes very clear to you after this full, well-rounded moment. And you may be feeling more romantic. And if you're single, just let yourself feel romantic. Like, let yourself be in that. You know, it's not just dreamy. It's like, you can also visualize your life and also set really clear intentions with your spiritual practice. Because that's also what this is. This is your spiritual practice. This is your flow. And when things wash away, so this is also almost a metaphor for Cancer season, and what it's done is bring all this around to now sit in the sun and feel the warmth again. Looks rather cold, I'd say. And feel the warmth again. Release yourself from the burden or the release of this on your mind, and things move quickly, and you begin to see that some of the things that have died are some of the most beautiful things. Some of the things you've had to let go of made some of the most beautiful points in your life and moments in your life that much more rich. And this richness continues. This richness continues with deepening you to your sense of self even more. And by the end of the month, there's going to be this moment, like you're already intuitive, but there's going to be a directness to your intuition. That combo of Virgo and Pisces, there's going to be like this, it's like as if the moon was in there, just imagine it like coming out and going back in. And it looks like there's a little star in there anyway. It's what begins to guide you forward through a time where it's like you're walking through the mist. Right? It could feel like that at some points this summer for you. And even into the fall, depending on where you live as well. Though it's a sense of direction. There's a greater sense of direction. And you might even sense like a part of you that the part of you that was somewhat stuck with this. Like you're grieving, you're going to feel that grievance of like even that part of yourself that can happen to anyone. But it's you who can sometimes not realize how much energy you don't have. You realize it, but there's times where it just feels so much, you just feel so much more tired than others. And through this, there's going to be this lightness that comes about you. It comes about to you, around you. You get what I'm saying? And it's going to feel, you might even feel like light as a feather for a few days or a period of time this month. And that's different. It's different. Yet you need this. You really do. You need this. This is for you. And Leo season wants to give you the gift after the beginning. And that gift is only for you. This becomes a very intimate moment with yourself by the end of the month, where it's like it's between you and the moon. That's like what? It's just between you and the moon. And here's Cancer at the bottom. If there's a Cancer in your life, they are very, very comforting, understanding. They want to sit with you through it, not force anything. It's a deeper sense of trust within you, even, to listen to your own intuition. Because the summertime, especially like Taurus through, not as much in Taurus season, but it's still a very prominent thing to look external. That's a part of Taurian nature, the beauty. And then Gemini, stimulation, and Leo, it's the middle of the summer in most places, or in some places, and there's just so much light, right? But for you, it feels so personal. It can feel so personal, and it is, and it's perfect. Richness. Yes. All right, Pisces, we're going to get into your extended reading where I go through the cards into the next month a little bit more. And it's been pretty flowy this month, very to the point, you know. The Leo even like doesn't really, the energy doesn't even want to use all the deck half the time, but we do sometimes. And then other information to work with me is below. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next month.